Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Killing Time with
Keegan
and Taj. Today, pretty much a follow-on from last week because we said we're going to talk about Area 51, and
Yeah.
Keegan has a little segment to talk about as well.
Oh yeah, I've got a pretty interesting one that's just come out. But should we talk about that first?
You go first.
All right. We're all familiar with Mr. Elon Musk himself, right?
No? Who's that?
So Elon Musk is the guy that named his kid after that mass equation.
Ah.
Yeah, that's Elon Musk. Anyways, what the Tesla? He's got he's got a whole bunch of like startup companies, right, that he owns. Whatever he does with those companies, launder money, I don't know. But there is one company that is a neurological like science company, and
Tesla?
no, that's Tesla. they mess with like neurological like stuff.
Brains.
Yeah, brains and stuff, but like technology. Anyways, Elon Musk has come out recently, about a week ago, I think, or like a couple of days ago. He said his company that I can't remember the name. If I find it, I'll put it up in the edit so you can. But this company has now, they're in the midst of engineering a chip that goes inside your brain so you can stream music straight to your brain. Instead of like putting earphones in, it just streams it to your brain.
Is this like the new AirPods? Like, straight up, you just... Oh, sorry, couldn't hear you. Got my chip going.
Yeah, so it's something like that. But apparently there's a whole bunch of other stuff like it like can reduce anxiety and all of that. But it got me thinking, have you ever seen the movie Kingsman?
I think so.
Yeah, so it's like with the British spies, and then like Samuel L. Jackson he owns this giant tech company that, get this, sells chips that gets put in your brain, but he uses it in the movie to like explode people's heads. I don't know, it was something like that. Good movie, you should watch it. But I feel like
That more reminds me of like a Black Mirror episode, to be honest.
yeah, it is kind of Black Mirror-esque. Like, well, first of all, would you get this chip? Like, honestly speaking,
Yeah.
you get the chip.
Oh, I'd want to know the side effects first. Like, it
Death?
could have... Probably.
That's alright.
But, like, imagine you're like, alright, throwback to, like, school. You could record a voice memo of you just reading your note sheet, going through an exam where you're not allowed notes, and just listen to this voice memo.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of... Yeah, and then you can, like...
I don't know why cheating was the first thing that came to my mind with this chip.
Like, so you want to know what my first thing was? It's like at work, if someone's really annoying you or something, you just play music. Because they don't know you're doing that, so you're like, yeah.
But
you're not listening to a thing they're saying, you're playing some music.
The thing is it obvious when you have to try and turn the music on? Is there like a thing you have to do where you're like, there we go, there's the music?
I think it's an app. So I think it's an app that streams it to the chip, and then that chip translates it to like waves or chemicals. I can't remember that. I was trying to read that.
Just vibrates your brain.
Yeah, it vibrates your brain, but like in a way that plays music. Yeah, think about your brain as like a little disc, and then that chip's the little needle, and then your brain just vibrates and creates music. But yeah, like I think it's a pretty cool idea, but like it's scary. Hey, to think that.
Does that mean like he can like control? Well, not control you,
so-
but like he's pretty much inside your brain.
So yeah, there's that. So like he could probably upload something where he speaks to you. He can like any random time of the day, no matter if your chip is on or not, he could probably send like a random recording of just him taking a poo. And like the plop just gets played. While you're sleeping, you just hear plop. You're like, whoa,
No.
the crystal clear 4K sound like on your...
Hear me out, right? So you know how there's Spotify Premium, and then there's the free one where there's ads. What if you have to buy the premium, or else you just get random ads throughout the day? You just be washing the dishes, and then all of a sudden an ad for like a dishwasher comes on. You're like,
Oh, but you can't turn it off. Yeah, like he's gonna have a trial version that just has a whole bunch of Tesla adverts. Thinking about getting a new car? What about one that drives itself and you're like, I wish I could just rip my head off right now. So yeah, there's so what, but the cons right now is you can die. Unwanted messages being played that you have no control over. Ads.
what if they go to a psychologist and like, I hear voices inside of my head, and then the psychologist just like, it's probably just your chip, man.
It's true, could be. And he's like, well, I don't have a chip. He's like, do you listen to music randomly in your head sometimes? Yeah, you got the chip, mate. Oh, yeah, that's alright. So, yeah, that was pretty interesting, and it's scary to think that we're very close to that sort of level of technology to be able to have ads directly streamed to our brain. I thought, and I had enough of seeing them on TV, but now they're getting closer. But now we're going to follow up from last week's episode, which was aliens.
Are
yeah.
aliens real? Question
Yes.
mark, explanation mark.
But now, what's this one? Area 51?
So yeah, somehow we got onto Area 51 last week, and we thought instead of going on about it last week, we'll talk about it today. So, as most of the people know, Area 51 is the military base in Nevada.
I have no idea where that is.
It's in America somewhere. It's in the desert.
Yeah, it's fine.
I got quite a few notes on this today. I had nothing else to do, so
And when he means quite a few notes, right, he doesn't mean like little dot points. He's gone out and he's basically done a year 10 like level report. There's an introduction. There's some subheadings. It's impressive.
So we got some brief intro. We got brief hittery because I spelled history wrong. We got alien claims, and then I got some facts under that as well. So
What is Area 51? You got to tell me. He's the
okay.
one doing the research. He's meant to educate us in his own knowledge. So don't read off of that. You got to tell us in your own knowledge.
So, Area 51 is a classified military base that is supposedly used for weapons and aircraft testing, I think.
Alright, yeah.
So, because it's quite classified, no one actually knows what's going on there, which is why everyone's like, "Ooh, do they have aliens in there? Are they hiding something in there?"
Yeah. Well, we were so close to finding it out last year because people wanted to raid Area 51.
I think up until the year 2000, there was no aerial images of Area 51. That's how classified it was. So it was founded in 1955.
And then Google Maps came along.
No, it wasn't even Google Maps. Google Maps actually like blurred it out, like blacked it out.
Yeah.
It was a Russian-made satellite that got pictures of it.
Yeah.
So
And
Russia leaked pictures of Area 51, and I'm assuming America weren't too happy about that, but
you gotta love Russia. They just do what they want.
So during the Cold War, the CIA started making spy planes.
Cold War.
I don't know.
Is that when they had war in winter?
Yeah, it was pretty cold.
Yeah, it's nothing like the hot war
No,
or the lukewarm war.
yes, Richard Bissell Jr.
What
realized
Richard Bissell Jr.
he realized that they needed a private test facility for these spy planes that they were going to send to the Cold War. So the first plane they made was a U-2, which got shot down.
By who?
Like immediately. I don't know. I just got notes down that it got shot down. So then they came up with an even better one called the A-12. Now, the A-12 was capable of 2,200 miles per hour, and I've
Jesus.
got that in kilometers an hour as well, which is 3,540 kilometers per hour.
Now, what's the sound?
Speed of sound? I don't know.
The speed of sound is.
I'm gonna yell at you, and you tell me how quick you can hear it. Okay? Boo.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. So speed of sound is pretty slow. So
Yeah.
that's definitely faster than speed of sound.
Jesus. The
So-
length of the USA in 70 minutes.
Yeah. So it could fly the length of the USA in 70 minutes. So just over an hour, this could fly from one end to the other, which is where quite a few claims of UFOs started, because around that area, people were kind of like, what is this base used for? They had like theories, but they didn't know what it was actually for. So
Bear in mind, right? Where did you get all this? Wikipedia.
no, I got it from multiple sources.
Multiple
I cross-checked my facts. Don't worry.
Wikipedia. Alright, cool. Because I just want to know, like, what happens, right? If this is just America's way of covering up that they don't have aliens, and they're just putting it out there, it's just a private test facility. We're just testing very top secret stuff for spying, not aliens. Spying.
I'm gonna get into that.
Alright,
Don't
cool.
worry.
I'm
We've
just
got
a bit
we've got a guy who
concerned.
claimed he worked there. We
Yes.
don't have him, but
I
like
read about that.
I read something and I wrote it down. We don't have a special
Our
guest on
next
today.
guest was from Area 51.
What's his name? Robert Lazar. So, in 1989, a guy called Robert Lazar gave an
An anonymous.
That's a hard one. We'll put the word down here. So he gave a tip that was in an interview with the Las Vegas news station. He claimed that Area 51 housed. So he claimed that a UFO crashed in Mexico, and the US government took the wreckage of that UFO to Area 51 to try and reconstruct
But how
a
did,
UFO.
Now, how did America take it from Mexico if it's not in their territory?
I don't know. Ask this
That
Robert
That
dude.
makes no sense, right?
This is Robert's story, not my
Like,
story.
it's like if something crashed here and America was like, yeah, we'll take that. No, it's ours. Alright, let's listen to Robert.
Eventually, he was discredited because they found a few loops in his story. Not just like the UFO crashing, but apparently he went to the Massachusetts
This
Institute
word.
of Technology, but he never actually went there. There was no records of him going there, so they were like, ooh. And then he also claimed to go to another one in California, which no records as well. So
But maybe the US government have wiped him.
ooh,
Yeah.
ooh.
Because you don't know. Maybe he was telling them the truth. And they were like, well, he might have gone there, but it's like, there's no record. If it's wiped, I can go get a degree right now, but if the government wipes it, who's going to believe me?
You're a liar.
Exactly. He sounds like a weirdo. It's not like he had much friends.
So
His name's Robert.
back onto the A-12 aeroplane. So that was mistaken for UFOs in the area because it's pretty quick, and when it was made, it was just a metallic silver color. So imagine just seeing a metallic silver thing just fly across the sky.
So yeah, you in your car going down the freeway.
Yeah, at, what are we saying, 3,540 k's an hour? Not bad, not bad. So yeah,
Doable.
United States Air Force were pretty easily able to just say, no, it's not a UFO. But they couldn't say it's our aeroplane because it's a spy plane and they needed it for the Cold War.
Well, what? A UFO stands for Unidentified Flying Object. So if they don't identify it, it is a UFO.
No, but they said it's not a UFO, so they have identified
So
it.
they've identified
But
it.
they haven't said exactly what it is because they need the privacy so that they can win the Cold War.
Yeah.
So many people claim they saw a UFO, but it turns out it's just a plane going real fast. What do you think is actually at Area 51?
I don't know. I've never been. I don't even know what's down at Joondalup half the time. I've played GTA, and I have gone inside the military base.
But that's a military base. That ain't Area 51.
Area 51's a military base, right?
Or
I
is
feel
it?
like it's the same thing.
Or-
Automatic 5 stars,
No.
tanks,
No.
planes coming after you.
Area 51 could just be an alien breeding ground.
It does explain Donald Trump. It really does explain him, right? And Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh.
Yeah, there's talks about him being a lizard. Is that
Well,
true?
no. That video that everyone's like, oh, he's a lizard. They found out that was not how the video was recorded. There was editing done to that video.
Oh, what do you mean?
Are we talking about the video where his eyelids like close sideways?
Well, everyone knows that's edited. No one actually. No, but have you not seen all the like stuff about Mark Zuckerberg being a lizard, and like there's photos of him being taken and his face is like pale white, and it's
Bro,
like
he
people-
created Facebook. He doesn't need to go outside. He's got all the money in the world. He can just chill.
Yeah, but maybe the reason he created Facebook is so he can have friends without going out. Because he's a lizard. No, we don't know what Mark Zuckerberg is. There's talks that Bill Gates is actually female. That's a bit of a stretch, to be honest. he is an old man, and you can tell. But like, I don't know where something came up was like, because there was all these conspiracy theories about all the rich, famous people, like how Dubai are rock gods or whatever. Like, not as in like AC/DC rock, as in like rock people made of rocks. And
So like
stuff.
the Fantastic Four.
And their oil and biofuel is them pee, and that's how they're making all this money.
Whoa!
I can't remember where
That's-
I saw that.
That explains how they're all rich, because
Yeah.
not every single one of them would work for the oil company if it was a company.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's like 1 liter is just like they all poo, and then it's all turned into oil, and then that's how they sell it. That's why they got so much oil. Think about it. If they are the leading suppliers of oil, how have they not run out yet? It's because they produce the oil. They don't dig it up, because they're gods.
Their ancestors dug holes, peed in the ground, filled the holes back over, and now they dig it back
With
up.
a little side said, you might need this in the future.
It's like one of them time capsules. Do not dig this up until 2020 when the value is... Oh no.
No, because the value of
the
it
value
dropped
drop. Do not dig this up until 2019 until the value is at this much per barrel.
Yeah, so there's a couple like weird conspiracies, but bringing it back to Area 51, I'm not sure. Hey, there could be anything.
So I feel like it's just a...
It's probably just a base.
Yeah.
there's
There's
a run.
plenty other that there's...
There's probably, I would say they would, because of its how famous this place is. I doubt they do anything there anymore. Like, yeah, they've probably moved it to like
Area
Alaska.
52.
or something. Just the one over, yeah.
No, I reckon it's just a military base because like the government's so secretive about what's there. Everyone's just like, it can't just be a military base. There has to be more to it.
Yeah.
Because just think about it, like our imaginations just come up with some crazy stuff.
It's true. Did you know there's a seed vault in like, is it Greenland?
In Greenland or Iceland.
Yeah, there's
one
a
of them.
vault that is heavily protected by like military personnel. And when I mean heavily protected, this thing apparently has all the seeds to every plant ever, and like loads of them. That is like signed, like it's stored to the point where they're like perfect, because it means if we ever like run out of those plants and stuff, we can actually produce them again. But like this thing is probably one of the most protected places in the world. Now you see it, the grass on the moon is stored in the seed vault for when we land on the moon again, and they can produce more grass. And the grass isn't green, it's grey. That's why the moon's grey.
Well, the moon's actually cheese.
No, because... Yeah. You're right, the moon is cheese.
On the other side of the moon, the
That's
dark
what it
side.
is. Yeah, that's just black grass.
Well, yeah, because it doesn't get any sunlight.
Yeah. Does the moon spin?
Well, I'm pretty sure the moon does spin because one time in an episode of Futurama, they're on the moon and they had to run from the shadow of the moon because if they stayed on the dark side of the moon, they would have froze to death. So I'm pretty sure the moon spins just based on that.
Well, we actually got our sources from Futurama and Facebook. How trusted is this podcast to bring you the facts? But honestly, guys, if you have any conspiracies you want us to like read about and give our opinion down, drop them down. There's heaps, hey, out there. Well, we've just covered what?
Aliens, Ghost, Area 51.
Area 51. There's the whole Epstein case.
Oh, Brandon wants a special on that.
Brandon. Shout out to Brandon.
So
he wants a 3-hour long.
No. I said we can do an hour-long one for you, and he said that's too long. So I said 59 minutes, and he said that would be perfect.
All right, so we got a 59-minute special about Epstein, and
Or the special had quite a few. So on Saturday night, Keegan had his 21st birthday, and Brandon came up to me came up to us and said that he's a avid fan of the podcast.
he is.
And he listens.
Brandon, if you hear this, you're an avid fan, right? So that means you're definitely listening to this part of the podcast. You need to put a comment down saying thank you. That's it.
So he came up to us, and he's one of our 2 listeners on Spotify. Shout out to Brandon and the other guy who's in Saudi Arabia.
No,
Shout out to
and the
that
ones
guy.
in Germany. Shout out to the German fans. We appreciate you. Guten Tag.
So
Is that racist?
he, oh, no, you just said hello
Oh yeah.
or good morning.
Good morning. Oh,
So,
I'm not German.
so he listed a list for me to write. So bear in mind, we had a few drinks by this stage. So I'm writing in my notes on my phone the list, and we've got quite a few good ones in there that we're.
But we're not gonna spoil it.
No, we're not going to spoil it, but Epstein is one of them. We've
Yeah.
already said Epstein, so
We'll
that's
talk
one
about-
of them, and
but-
there's quite a few other in this list.
So
but
there's gonna be an hour, 59-minute long special.
if it gets to 59 minutes, we just have to cut it there.
Yeah, we will. No, we'll have the outro. But I feel like, yeah, we'll have the special for you, Brandon. And also, tune into that, because there's some interesting things that we want to talk about on that one. And hopefully, like, this one's pretty good as well. We've covered a little bit. Thanks to Taj for the cheeky history lesson as well. We gladly appreciate that. And if you guys want to hear anything else or more, please follow the Instagram or on YouTube. Just send us comments. Send it away. It's easier if you guys give us stuff to talk about, because it's, yeah, we don't have to come up with our own boring stuff.
We genuinely sit here and we're like,
We don't know what to talk.
what should we talk about this week? It gets to the point where I'll show up to Keegan's house, we'll go to record the pod, and we're like,
We have no idea.
so what are we talking about?
But before we end, we've got our purchase of the week.
Alright, I'm going to stop you
Yes.
right there. Before we get any further, I'm going to have to take the forfeit this week because I technically cheated on my purchase.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
So
Alright.
last week, because we didn't do one, and the week before we also didn't do one, I said we do 2 purchases at $10 each. But I haven't purchased anything this week other than a mouse that I bought earlier today, which cost me $25. So
you didn't buy two.
I have gone over budget, and I only purchased one thing. So
well,
already I'm taking the forfeit because I cheated.
Alright, well, thank you guys for watching, and we'll tune in next week, hopefully, for the next podcast and the forfeit video that will be coming up. We might not be able to put these out as frequently now that uni is starting. We will try find some days that we can, but at the moment it's proven to be quite difficult. But we'll get that stuff done for you guys soon. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and listening. If you're on Spotify, Brandon, thank you. We'll see you next time.